I don't know why I agreed to watch this today, because I've already cried at the 100, so I don't need more tears today. I've done enough crying. Can the rest of this week be just me happy and all of that? Because that's all I've done this past week. And it's because of TV shows and all of that jazz, and it's not good. Hello everyone, Catterson here. We're on My Hero Academia, episode 12, season 3. End of the beginning of the end. So, let's talk about last episode. Nothing bad went on in the last episode. All Might didn't lose. One for all for good. Oh man, I can't get over how powerful that last episode was. It was really, really well done. Like I said, I can't stress enough. I rewatched it last night, actually. The ending still got me. And it seriously is impressive stuff. Like, they really, really did a fantastic job animation-wise. Voice acting was absolutely stellar. And I can't wait to see where things do go from here on, because now Izuku is well, I guess he's the symbol of peace now. All Might has entrusted him to continue his work now that he can't do his hero work anymore because he's completely done in. So yeah, and like I said, I guess Endeavor is the number one hero. The thing is, though, with Endeavor, he's not gonna like the fact that he's number one by this way, because he has fought his entire life to make sure that he has kids that will one day surpass All Might. He's worked so hard to try and overcome All Might. He doesn't want to be the number one this way, basically. It's like handing you it on a silver platter, basically. And Endeavor will feel like this is a cheap way to be the number one hero. So, I kind of do. I'm gonna kind of feel a bit for Endeavor if he's referred to as the number one hero now. Like, if everyone's like, "Oh, you know what this means? This means Endeavor is the number one hero," because he's gonna feel it deep in his heart as well. He doesn't deserve it. So yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where things do go. I'm also dreading it because I'm assuming that this episode's going to deal with the aftermath of All For One and all of that. Interesting, though, that he has been taken to prison. I do suspect something's going to happen potentially for Season 3. Like, maybe there's going to be a bit of a breakout. Who knows? They've still got one gigantic Nomu to break out potentially, so... But that would probably be overkill, to be fair. Like, if they broke out the Nomu that All Might struggled against and All For One. That would be every apocalyptic nightmare smashed into one, basically. That's the best description you could put up with. No, because the League, I guess, is still out. They weren't apprehended and all of that. But the League is still out there as far as I'm aware. So they could potentially plan something. They've got the number. Well, I don't know about the numbers, but they could potentially break out All For One. Maybe Nomu. Who else? Who knows? And they could hit back stronger, especially with the fact that All Might defeated All For One, much to the concern of Tamura. Like, Tamura stated that you're not healthy enough yet. You need time. You need a bit more time to recover. And if he's picked up news about All Might smash, well, I don't know. It might be a bit bittersweet for him because he's got what he's wanted. He got All Might out the picture. So it's kind of bittersweet that but there's still heroes out there and all of that, so he might still need to rely on All For One. And plus he needs those, well, it's not like it's gonna be mandated by story, but he needs those quirks that All For One has picked from heroes, because he's able to give and take and give, I guess. It's usually give and take, but it's in this case, it's give and then it's take and give. Yes. I was a bit confused there, but no, he's picking out quirks for Tamura as well, so he needs that as well. But that, like I said, that's not part of the story. Like, he could just go on without having All for One's quirks that he's picked out for Tamura and all of that. But there could be a chance that, see, this is the thing though, you gotta tell Tamura at some capacity that Nana Shimura was the previous holder for All for One. So that's gotta be addressed at some point. But also, the fact that, well, I think Tamura might know that, but he doesn't know the fact that All for One killed Nana Shimura. So I have a feeling that, unless Tamura in some sadistic way has accepted that All for One did kill Shimura. I don't know though. I mean, he might do, but the way that All for One gloats about Nana Shimura and how she was pathetic and all of that, he keeps that hidden. But I doubt that Tamura knows that Nana Shimura was killed by All for One. And I'm just wondering what would happen there if Tamura because this is the same person who's been grooming Tamura for all of his life, well, most of his life, should I say. And you just gotta wonder what would happen once the shit hits the fan, basically. Once Tamura finds out that All for One killed his grandmother. I say we just test out that experiment or something like that, because I think he's got a right to know, considering the fact that he's been groomed, so he could be led astray and he could think that the Hero Society is to blame for Nana Shimura's death, similar like Kota. And I think that might work for the case. Like that's a bit of foreshadowing to something greater. Because, of course, Nana Shimura would be great, like, something greater to, heck, even Kota's parents put together and all of that. So, I have a feeling we will get to that pedestal at some point, but who knows. Yeah, this is end of the beginning, though. Let's get on with this episode. The full reaction will be on Patreon. I'm not looking forward to this. Help me. Let's go.
It's your turn.
Stop this. I don't deserve this.
Captured their boss, I'd have to say this whole thing was a draw. Don't be stupid. Our country just lost the symbol of peace. All Might's weakened body has been exposed to the world. Everyone knows the indestructible hero can be defeated.
Tamura's gonna be
the citizens and the villains.
A lot more less guided now that All for One's apprehended.
Too much on one pro hero.
People now know they can raise hell with just a handful of thugs. Hate to think what that might inspire. Our initial profile of Tomo
with the kid, even if something terrible were to happen to her.
And in the end, your plans backfired, huh? I'm sorry to hear that.
Kind of feel so bad for like
so that her
Shimura family.
Life full of peace. I must track Shigaraki down as soon as possible. I'll find him and then.
Then what?
You can't reason with him.
On the head? You're not looking at him like the villain he is anymore. That's dangerous.
Exactly.
Remember
just
that
because.
No matter his lineage, he's still a criminal.
Exactly.
He's been like that ever since he came home. Feel free to go say hi.
If All Might really can't be the hero he once was anymore, then the #1 spot is finally my father's.
But it's not like this was ideal, was it? This was the way he wanted. Oh boy. You're gonna need new equipment, Endeavor.
I don't accept it. Not like this.
Hey, where are you going? Dinner's ready.
Sorry, I can't.
That dinner's gonna... Damn it. The poor dinner's gonna get cold now. What a waste.
You finally made it.
Are you okay?
It sure took you long enough.
Oh!
Texas!
Oh!
It's clear that my body isn't going to allow me to fight another battle.
Oh, man. Can't keep doing that as well, because he'll keep spewing blood out.
and my muscle form won't last for any significant amount of time. I can't pretend, so let's keep working hard together.
Oh, I love this.
Nothing would make me happier. All Might.
What'd I say about keeping your word, you little crybaby? I thought we agreed that you'd stop it with the waterworks.
Only a
Oh my god!
on my cheek.
Oh my god!
I barely felt it, so I knew it was true.
Jesus.
All Might's reign as top hero had come to an end.
We decided what we were going to do right after we got the notice in the mail. I mean, you should have heard my old man during All Might's fight.
My daughter's teacher is so hardcore, man! That battlefield is a stadium and it's knocking it down!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was crying.
Yogi, come on! Don't strict this stuff for these dudes!
Dad.
Hey, cut it out, you two. Save the
Oh
aggression
my
for your
god.
music. You kidding? Hell yeah, get this kid in a dorm room.
You hack! Hit me again and I'll kill you!
Oh my god!
You never would have gotten caught and caused all that trouble.
Come on, you two, please.
Oh
no
my
fighting.
goodness.
We don't want to frighten your teachers, do we? Shut it, you clown!
Yeah,
Mind your own
needs to
business!
butt out. Oh, don't you even think about using your quirk cuts.
They haven't got a chance.
Gee.
I was worried about the kid, obviously, and didn't know what would happen. But he's back now, safe and sound, so it worked out. I'm sure UA will face harsh criticism from some people. We still trust you, though, so we'll leave him to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a hot-tempered brat, and we know he's a pain, but please train him hard and make him a good hero.
Oh, I like that.
I owe you a drink for this one. A fledgling hero with bright prospects. I'm sorry, young Bakugo, but I can't say any more than that.
Damn it, Katsuki! The police said not to go wandering off by yourself!
Yeah, sure.
I mean, technically he's got...
Tell me, that's fine.
He has an idea, but...
Oh, and thank you.
Katsuki!
I heard you!
She's got this kind of short fuse whenever you step the wrong way.
Can't believe All Might is in our home.
Be cool, Mom. It's totally fine.
Oh, is he gonna go into... Yeah, he's gonna go into his room, isn't he?
You probably already know why I'm here. You received a notice that UA is moving our students to dormitories?
Yes, about that. I read the letter. And I won't allow it.
Wait, what?
Oh.
But
His future will be filled with blood, so I'm sorry. Oh, help me!
I can understand.
He's my son. I'm sorry. Forgive me, Izuku.
Don't need forgiving. She's completely understandable.
We were always so happy just watching the heroes do their jobs. Maybe it was better that way. I don't know.
That's not true!
Honey, I told you I'd support you. Cancelled, and you couldn't stop your students from getting seriously injured, almost killed. I won't put my son in danger. It's my duty as his mother to keep him safe.
Ma'am.
I understand it. I understand completely.
It's my own fault that I kept getting hurt. The teachers warned me over and over again, but I didn't listen.
So you're saying you didn't learn? Don't you think that means the school's responsible?
Ooh.
Young man, sit down.
I might be acting like an overprotective parent.
No.
But lots of other hero courses out there besides the one at UA.
Shattering for Deku to hear, but I mean, if you put yourself in her position, then you can see why.
You looked up to me, followed in my footsteps.
I know who I'm meant to be, and that's what I'll train for. At UA or not, I swear it.
Young Midoriya. You are not just an aspiring hero following in my footsteps.
What are you saying, All Might? What is this?
Admit
It's
it.
an apology. As the one who held that title, I allowed myself to remain his hero rather than giving my all as his teacher. I'm sorry.
Wow. It's that priority, hero and teacher, isn't it?
I implore you to forgive my past weakness. It's true that my path has been filled with blood. We're committed to ensuring the safety of our students from here on out.
Shit, oh
it's
my.
our top priority. Look not at the current UA, but toward the future. Will you allow me to devote myself to young Izuku?
Past
Together
past
we will go
sins.
beyond. I will lift him up.
to influence
and
the future.
I will protect your son, even if it costs me my life.
All Might.
Mom.
I promise.
Give him that inspiration, that push to be better.
Izuku, if you're going to go back to this school, you have to be so careful.
It's like the last straw, isn't it?
I won't make you worry.
Mr. All Might, please, take good care of my boy.
Wow. That was beautiful.
I lost to you, All Might. The struggle I put up was truly pitiful. But it is you who failed in the end. Beating me put you on a course that led you closer to your students. You missed your opportunity to vanish. You lost your chance to die. And he's learned how to increase their number. You'll be fine.
Become more dangerous. No.
Take all this experience, loathing, and regret, and use it as you move forward.
Great.
Now, it's your turn.
Son of a bitch! That's the same shit that All Might said to fucking Deku. Wow. So first you steal I am here, and now you're stealing that. You know what? All Might should... First thing he should do, it's not about, okay, I'm gonna look out for Deku, etc., etc. He should take all for one to court. Sue that bastard. I gotta say, those final few moments for this episode was really, really empowering. Like, especially from Izuku's mother, when she was arguing about the fact about if Izuku should even be at UA still, or agree to this dorm system that is seemingly underplaced. Yeah, in this episode we basically got a few families being contacted about the dorm system. I'm interested to see how that does go on, like, because we only got to Jiro, Bakugo, and the Midoriya family in terms of everyone. So maybe we'll find out from Aizawa about what happened elsewhere. But it was really, really great to see that amount of conflict from Midoriya's mother. Like, the thing is, with this show, we usually see her as someone who is so nice and so, well, she is supportive, and that and she really, really took a stand in this episode, but she still is supportive. It's just that her son, it's only been a few months, if I'm right, since Deku got into UA and all of that. So yeah, in those few months, if that's the case, Deku has died. Well, no, he hasn't died. He's nearly died a few times. He nearly died against Muscular. He's injured himself quite a bit. He's like, in his first few months, he's already picked up a few battle scars. Of course, he's learned to improve to harness One for All better, but he needs that reliance of All Might to be a better teacher as well, which I guess the plus of not having One for All anymore is that this can finally allow All Might to be the teacher that he wants to be, because we know throughout this show, and it's been vocalized as well, that he has struggled to be a good teacher and a good hero at the same time, and there was so many eggs put in the basket that the consequences of All Might's negligence is finally kicking him up the backside now that he's in his true form, now that he can't, now that he's in his true form for good, now that he can't be the symbol of peace anymore. It's having ramifications, and like I said, you cannot blame Izuku's mother whatsoever. Like, there's been so many times that Deku has been has been badly hurt from his encounter with the villains and all of that, and it's not fair for someone like Izuku's mother to go through all of that emotion and and basically worry. And this is only a few months, so yeah, and I'm glad that they were able to work out a compromise where now that All Might has full responsibility on teaching, he can basically look after him with this dorm system and probably steer him to a better direction than All Might's path. Which is really, really great stuff to see. And I did really, really love, I was so invested with the wording that Mama Midoriya, Mother Midoriya would come out. I wouldn't know how to pronounce her name. I'll have to look back and then learn how to pronounce it. But Midoriya's mother was understandable completely. And I was so captivated with what she had to say because when she declined, she voiced out her initial concerns, and that kept growing and growing when you, and it was validated even further with the more words she came out with. I was really, really invested with what she had to say, because we know that Izuku's mama has been completely scared. We saw that worry in the end of season 2 where she was completely worried. Like, she was like, I can't do this anymore. And now that we've had this with All for One, that's the final straw. The line's in the sand, and she's given this one more opportunity. The way I see it, it's one more chance, Toshinori, where she doesn't know who his real name is, but one more chance, basically. Now that All Might can't be All Might anymore, he's got that chance to finally teach him and steer him to a better direction, hopefully. So yeah, but I cannot blame her whatsoever with her emotions. And I mean, I'm not calling out people or whatever, but if you cannot understand with where she's coming from, then it's really concerning, because I understand, and it's not being overprotective. I wouldn't say it's being overprotective by any means. You're just worried. Like, this is a few months. If you take all of Izuku's if the injuries, everything into account, and that's not even been a full year, then you've got a right to be worried as a parent, as someone who has witnessed Deku been told that he is not quirkless and he wants to be inspired, and he still keeps being inspired by heroes, and he's got this quirk. And yeah, from feeling a lot of guilt, you're going to feel a lot of guilt that you might not be able to do something about it, in terms of moving him somewhere else or something like that, because of the fact that you don't want to go to your own child's funeral. That's every parent's worst nightmare, to go to your child's own funeral, and that's what's going to happen. That could happen, and I would probably say that Izuku is not saying that he's irresponsible, but from the eyes of his mother, he's lucky not to have a funeral. So yeah, of course, we know that Izuku is improving and whatnot, but from his mother's perspective, she keeps dodging, and she keeps getting lucky with the fact that she doesn't have to attend her son's own funeral, and no parent wants that shit whatsoever. So I can't blame her for being like that to All Might whatsoever. But now that he is a full-fledged teacher, that he doesn't have to handle that too many eggs in one basket situation anymore, he can finally find that way to steer Deku into a more greater path, to probably I mean, there's still going to be times of worry for Deku. No hero life is easy and all of that. Let's be real. But she's counted up the number of times Deku has busted his arm, has scraped himself, everything in these past few months, and it's really, really concerning, and it doesn't paint a good picture for the future. So hopefully All Might can mitigate the damage, and because like I said, either way, he's still gonna face those consequences as a hero. I mean, he's not gonna be super, super OP to the point where nobody can literally touch him, and like even the most powerful villain out there, like Nomu mixed with All for One, basically. Like, that's just a flick for Deku. It's not going to be that easy. There's still going to be consequences, but to mitigate the damage as much as possible is the best thing possible. And now Toshinori can finally do that. So, yeah. Loved the Katsuki, yeah. But loved Bakugo's mother so much. Like, I really love how she has a really, really calm demeanor, but also can snap if something goes awry and all of that. But, like, she acknowledges the fact that Bakugo can get pretty snappy. It's his own pride and all of that. But she's very, very humble as well at the same time, because she's not just grateful about the fact that the teachers current efforts with Bakugo, but the fact that they have suggested this dorm idea, because for Mama Katsuki, Bakugo, should I say, because, yeah. But still, for her, it gives her a bit of a break, doesn't it? So it's like, oh, thank goodness, because she kind of echoed her thoughts about, it's a bit of a struggle, isn't it? So, yeah. And it'll keep the household a bit more quiet, it seems, because otherwise, apart from, like, well, I just hate to think, what if her husband screws up? Like, I just love the fact, though, he doesn't take after his father. His father is just like, okay, don't get crazy and all of that. But what if, I don't know, her husband managed to drop a plate of food or whatever? She would absolutely tear him a new one, basically. I imagine, who knows. We got a bit of her in last season, didn't we, when Bakugo was trying to kill all of his germs and all of that, and she was like, shut up! And same here, like, Bakugo was snippy and she was like, so yeah, I would want to see more of Bakugo's mother, if anything. But yeah, Endeavor we got as well, raging over the fact that he's the number one unnaturally. Loved that so much, and I do not blame him whatsoever. This is not how he wanted to be a number one hero. He's fought so damn hard, and to be giving it on a cheap way is gonna piss you, like, for Endeavor's character, it's gonna piss you off. So I do not blame him whatsoever for being a bit mad, a bit mad. He was burning down the whole room and all of that. But I don't blame him whatsoever for being mad that he is the number one cheap. So it's completely understandable. But yeah, this was a great Fallout episode, because it got people thinking about, okay, well, we need to do something, especially with the fact the world felt really, really changed. I don't know if it was me, but it felt so much different now that they realized the reaction of everyone now knowing that All Might has retired, but his true state as well. The world felt completely different, and I loved that focus in the beginning with the police's suspicions about Tamura getting stronger. That is seemingly true from All for One's words. But not only that, though, but they need to, like, they are buckling up so much. Not to say they were slacking whatsoever, but they are not letting, like, they have got to stamp down harder, basically. Given with what's happened with All for One versus All Might and all of that. So, yeah, I really, really enjoyed that episode so much. It was a great Fallout episode, and yeah, it was very, very fun to watch. So I enjoyed My Hero Academia so much in this episode. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care. And I will see you guys next time. Toodles!